Hi everyone, in today's video I will show you how to cut and sew a princess dart bustier. So let's get into this. This is the basic front bodice and it will serve as the template for us to draft the princess dart bustier. If you're interested in how to draft this basic bodice, I'll be dropping a link in the description box that will give you detailed instructions on how to do a professional basic bodice. Alright, so let's get into this. The first thing that I'm going to be doing here is I would like to establish the underbust length, as I want the bustier to be snug on the body and to also fit without the aid of the bra. So measure the underbust length, which is 13 inches for the model. Next, I'll square a small line to indicate that this is the underbust. Now that we have done that, we have to determine how we are going to contour the underbust. The underbust circumference for the model is 29 inches. So 29 divided by 4 will give us 7 1/4. So simply measure from the center front up to where the dart begins here. Alright, can you see? Then shift your tape to the second part of the dart. Okay, take note of the measurement you've had before and shift your tape, and then we are going to measure until we get to 7 1/4, which is there. You can see that there is an excess, so when I measure the excess, I got 3/4 of an inch for this pattern. All right, so that 3/4 you divide it by 2, which is 3/8 on both sides. Now take note that this is not a fixed measurement. Some people's measurements go as far as 1 inch or 1.5 inches. It depends on how small the back is, okay? But this is an average size bust, so 3/8 on both sides is actually perfect for this shape. So I'm going to connect it now, the new point on the underbust, connect it to the waist and do the same on the other side. Now I'll go ahead to determine where my princess dart will begin at the armhole. So you measure the arm side height to determine the midpoint, and then you mark the midpoint. Having done that, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a curved line with the help of my curve ruler. Draw a curved line to the bust point. Alright, now we are going to finish our princess style line by connecting the bust point to the underbust, the new underbust that we have been able to establish. You simply connect it to the bust like so. Alright, so take note now of this area that is here. This is actually the bust dart. I can't leave it like this, so I have to transfer it to the princess style line. Alright, I'm going to do this now by cutting open one side of the dart. Okay, we are meant to close this dart, but in order for it not to be cumbersome, simply cut open from the center of this waist dart. Cut it gradually until we get to the bust point. So this will make it easy for us to close the bust dart, and at the same time it will keep our pattern paper flat. I'll go ahead and tape it down. Having taped it down, I will simply, you can see that the line is not looking straight, so you simply blend the side seam properly. Alright, also blend this area so that it doesn't look too sharp. So you can see our princess dart is almost ready. What I'll just do now is to add seam allowance of 1/2 inch round, but the neckline I'll just be adding 1/4 inch on the neckline. As for the center front, I won't be adding any allowance there, okay, because it's actually on fold. Now I'll go ahead and cut it out. So next I'm going to open up the princess style line. If you're just coming to my channel for the first time, you're welcome. I appreciate you. I hope you give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright guys, can you see we have cut everything? I'm going to label it as the center front and this is the side front. So I'm going to place this on my fabric and I'll be adding 1/2 inch seam allowance along the princess style line on both pattern pieces. So I'll cut it out off camera. So I have done that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to gum fusible interface to provide stability to the fabric. I will also gum felt fabric, or what you may know as wadding. So I'm on my sewing table now and I have done just that. I have gummed on all the pattern pieces, the fusible interface as well as the wadding. I've done it on both the center front and the side front. So before you start joining, ensure that you properly notch the under bust as well as the bust point. That would guide us when we are going to be joining our pattern pieces. All right, do the same also for the center piece. Now you can go ahead and secure with your pins, ensuring that the notches meet together. If you still haven't liked this video till now, what are you waiting for? Please like our video and give it a thumbs up so that you can always see my videos whenever I post it. Now I would always recommend that you start stitching from the waist. It makes it easier and it makes both places to be equal. Okay, it's easier for me anyway. When you are around this point, you gently ease the side front. You kind of ease it in so everything goes in place. If not, you'll be having excess. Ensure that you notch the underbust area so it lays flat by the time we press the seam open. So I'll go ahead and repeat the process on the second side. You can keep using your pins to hold it together, okay? You can keep using your pins until you are adept at sewing it without pins. As for me, I can sew it both with pins or without pins, but if you're a newbie, please use your pins. It will make life much more easier. You can see how I'm easing it gradually. Can you see? You see how I'm easing it gradually so that it gives us the exact measurements. So I will notch again. You can also notch the bust point area. It's optional though. So can you see it's already giving us that cupped silhouette even though I haven't pressed it open. So this is an average size bust, okay? That's why it's not looking too big. It's an average size bust. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a good press, which I have done. Can you see the difference? Can you spot the difference? It looks as though there is a bust already inside the dress. See how neat the seams are. Let me turn it to the other side so you can see it's pressed open and it's looking really neat. So I'm going to place it on, I will wear it on the dress form, and then you'll see the results in 3D. So this is my finished look. You can see how fitted and contoured the garment is on the dress form. I hope you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope that you would like my video, you'll share with your friends. Until we see in our next video, stay blessed. Bye.